What up, y'all? I am back for another video. Today, I am reviewing The Conjuring 2, a video I should have did weeks ago, but it's been coming up. So I'll be doing that. And then probably around the same time I did the video yesterday, I will be reviewing uh I don't know why my mind went blank. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. So I'll be doing that a little bit later. But today, we're doing The Conjuring 2, continuing on with that franchise. And I gotta say, I like it better than the first. I think this one went more with the scares, and I think that's kind of what I wanted from the first one, but I think this one goes into it more. I love the opening where, you have a little bit of that tie to the Amityville. We see, I think the name's Ronald I won't say his name. I know his first name's Ronald, who, did the Amity Burgers. So she gets to see that, and this is where we get our first look at the nun. But I also like the England setting with the Hodgson family. I thought that was a nice change. The England setting is England, because you know how old the country is. There are parts of it that look pretty, eerie, so it works, And Janet is seeing this old man who turns out is just a pawn for the nun, and the Warrens are brought in, and because of in her vision, Rain basically asked Ed to kind of stay out of it and stay back so he doesn't, because in her vision she sees him get killed. So I do like that. Obviously, I kind of knew he wasn't gonna die, but I kind of like that you had that throughout the film, make you think. Like, it was a good little twist. Overall, I think I like the environment. The scene where she first sees the nun is pretty creepy. Or even some of the possession scenes, like the scene where the cops arrive and they're just seeing like shit move, is pretty well done. Like, the movie is actually pretty good. Like, I think this one, I like that they go more into the lore a little bit. Bringing in a new character like the nun. I haven't seen the movie. I've heard a lot of, and I'm actually going to be reviewing that probably next week, since I'm about to do Conjuring 3 this week. So I'll probably do the nun movies. And from what I'm hearing, basically the nun movies, I think I heard the second one's not as bad, but I've heard a lot of bad shit about the first one. So we'll see. But I enjoyed this. This was all right. Like, I think this is probably the best Conjuring so far. We'll see how 3 is, but yeah. So out of 10, probably a 9. I really enjoyed this one. I thought, it goes a little bit of a step further than what the first one did. And it goes more into the creepy atmosphere, which is kind of what I wanted a little bit from the first. So the soundtrack's pretty good. That opening scene is awesome. That's probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, is that opening sequence. But yeah, so I'll be reviewing Last Voyage of the Demeter later in the evening. And I'll be honest, I was supposed to see this movie actually around when it came out, but I just never got around to it. So I figure, since we did Bram Stoker's Dracula last week and the Demeter's mentioned in that movie, I figure this week's the right week to do the new one. So we'll do that one today, since, we're a week away from Halloween. It's perfect. I'll figure out what to review on Halloween. I don't know if maybe I'll try to do it all, because I don't know what Halloween, like the franchise Halloween related stuff I can talk about. I've talked about everything. I've ranked the movies, ranked the masks. Maybe I'll do Michael Myers actors. I don't know. Well, maybe something like that I'll do, because I don't think I've done that. Ranking the Michael actors from all the movies. I actually might do that. We'll see. So, but yeah. So I'll be doing that later in the evening on Last Voyage of the Demeter. But tomorrow I'll be doing Maniac Cop. So they'll probably do Maniac Cop 2 next Wednesday. But yeah, Maniac Cop's an interesting one. It's basically if Michael Myers was a cop. It's pretty much what the movie is. So anyway, but let's get into, sorry about that. Let's get into The Conjuring 2. So Warrens look into the Amity murders, and we see Lorraine actually going. Basically, has like as if she was Ronald doing the kid. And I'll admit that scene was hard to watch, man. The scenes. I mean, obviously, it was sad seeing him kill the parents, but when we see him actually kill the kids too, they show it. They don't shy away. See, I thought that was I'll admit that was a little like ooh. And this is where then we see the nun for the first time. I thought that scene was actually with the painting and she's running. That was actually scary. I thought that was a well planned scare right there. That whole opening was awesome. I love that shit. The music was right. The kind of had the right kind of film grain too, so it just looked good. It just everything about that scene. But then yeah, the movie really starts. Because she sees the nun shows Lorraine Ed, and basically Ed get impaled, and basically it's hinting that he may die. So we jump, and this is where we meet the Hodson family. Daughter Janet starting to see because she does uses a Ouija board one night, starts seeing weird things, including an old man named Bill, who basically says this is his house. Then she sees him again, in the middle of the night. The police arrive, and that's where they all see the tables moving, everything's moving. Because I think the mom saw it first, and then eventually she called the cops. And London just works as a setting for this kind of movie. I'm happy they changed the setting, and the rains have a little bit of in the movies anyway. I'm not gonna say Ghostbusters necessarily, but I like they're going and trying to stop these hauntings and stuff. I like that, so they're kind of like the haunt crew, if you want to call them that. But I do we don't get them for a little bit. This movie lets you get a look at what's going on with this family. And that scene where the cops arrive and they're still seeing shit just move. And they're like, I don't see any wires. I don't see shit. And then they're even getting interviewed about it. And that's when the Lorraines arrive, because the case started to get serious. And then they find out about Bill, who used to previously live in the house. Things seem normal. Obviously, then they start kind of tapping the house, and then they talk to different shrinks who, one of them tells them that they think the little girl Janet's faking it. They even give them a video to make it seem like that Janet was faking it, that she was arranging all the... So it's like a fake out kind of thing, right? They think, she's gonna leave. They're gonna leave, because... So because of that, the Lorraines think everything's fine, but then we find out more, because they start both asking questions. I love how intelligent they do make the Ed and Lorraine. I like how intelligent they are. They don't make them retarded. When they're even on the plane, they're like, wait, how could she have done all that? They just simple question like that. It's okay. Because basically, yeah. Because it's the audience would have probably asked that question, So I like that they did that. So they go back, find out that the old man Bill is basically just being used as a pawn for the nun, basically. So I like that. So the nun starts kind of attacking the family, obviously. So we get that kind of sequence. Lorraine tries to obviously compete against, and we get a sequence where it looks, because Janet is basically being forced in a way to seeming to attempt suicide, but Ed manages to save her and stop it, and before lightning strikes, so it's do you think he's gonna die kind of thing. Then Lorraine gets the Bible and basically reads some of the excerpts, kind of like exorcism-y, kind of gave you a little exorcism vibes, which is fine. Basically send the spirit back to hell and stops the possession of Janet, because she's trying to possess her. So I like that element of possession in the film. The film has a nice little... It's not just a haunting. It's a possession film, too. So eventually, obviously, they manage to stop it. They get a neat little another trinket, from the first movie. So I like that. I overall really like this movie. I think it's a solid sequel. It's a perfect... That's probably what I'm going to title the video, and I know probably have title other videos of this, I know, but perfect follow-up. I can't really think of anything else. It is a perfect follow-up to the first one. I really think I like that they took Ed and Lorraine and then just kind of made them, that opening scene is just so fucking good. They really put their all into that, just that scene alone, that whole sequence, even with the nun. And maybe they should have just never did the Nun movies. Obviously, I've not seen them yet, so this is just me saying this. Just they should have just made the Nun a reoccurring villain just within the movies. If you wanted to just do that, instead of, oh, let's just do a Nun prequel. That not everything needs a prequel. We'll see. Who knows? I mean, I know everyone. A lot of people basically say the first, and I know basically how it ends because spoilers are out there. So I somewhat know how it ends. There's a holy hand grenade, and I'm not kidding you. That's involved, apparently. Something with Jesus' blood. Yeah. I gotta see how they get to that fucking point, but we'll see. But I'm gonna watch that most likely next week. Then I'll do the Annabelle, because I think there's only 2 of those too. So I could knock both of those out. So, but I overall like the movie. I think Ed and Lorraine were much better in this movie. I love the atmosphere. The England setting was a nice setting, and I like that we got to, you know, get to know. I guess if you want to use that word, the Hodgson family, to where like you felt bad for that little girl Janet, even though she did do the Ouija board, but the movie has genuinely good scares. I won't say it's up there with like Insidious, but I definitely think it's well done. And I definitely think it's much better than the first. Not much, but it's better than the first, at least. So, I think I gave the first one like 8.5. I'd give the first one 8.5. I give this one like a 9. So, I think this is a great film. It's perfect. We'll see how the third one is. I've heard it's not as good. I'm interested if it's gonna be like maybe like Insidious Red Door, where it's not bad. I would still call it a good film. It just has flaws, so maybe it'll be something like that. Who knows? Or maybe I'll really fucking like it. Who knows? So we'll be watching that on Thursday. So, but anyway, later in the evening, I will be reviewing Last Voyage of the Demeter. I hope it's good. I just hope it's decent. It doesn't have to be amazing, but just if it can just be a good, I guess on paper, if you're just a good like monster movie, have some good atmosphere, kind of a creature feature where Dracula's just kind of picking off bodies. I know the story ends though. Apparently they don't do it like the actual book where he kills everybody. There's a survivor, which I don't really like the idea of that. I think Dracula should just kill everybody, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe it won't bother me if I watch it in the movie, so we'll see. So I'll be doing that tonight. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna peace out here, and I'll talk to y'all later. Review should be about the same time I did it yesterday, like 9:30, 10 o'clock. It'll be around there. But anyway, all right, y'all. Talk to y'all later.